Hello, welcome back to Ode to Venus. My name is Michelle, and this is where I do tough love tarot readings with some other stuff. You can check it out in my videos. So, I want to preface this reading with a trigger warning. I am a tough love tarot reader. I will only read you what you need to hear, and I will never sugarcoat things, and I will never twist things into a false positive. I intentionally make my readings this way because I believe it's a lot more productive than if I were to fill you with false hope or tell you something is coming when it isn't, because I truly believe that change starts from inside of us. So if we can't look inside, nothing outside is going to come in that we want or that we're ready for. So, tough love, no sugarcoating, no false positives. I'm very, very blunt. If you are not into any of these things, please do not watch this reading. I am not the reader for you, okay? Also, this is a general reading for the public, so if you would like a more personalized reading, the links are in the description below. But because this one is more general, just take what resonates with you and leave what does not resonate. You know your situation better than I, so use your discernment in that case. And one last announcement, I just started a Patreon. So if you want to support this channel, there are a few different tiers that you can choose from. Everyone who joins the Patreon is going to get early access to these general readings. I'm thinking I'm going to make it like a month out, but maybe that's too far out, maybe like 15 days, depends. Maybe I'll ask people like how far out they would want it. But definitely you get early access to these readings, you get personalized things every month, and depending on what tier you choose, there's a lot of fun things that we can work together on. So yeah, all those links are going to be in the description. Let's get started. Hi Cancer. Welcome to your September reading. Take a big deep breath for me, please. All right, if you are returning from last month, we are doing the same 4 categories: what you're avoiding, how you're bullshitting yourself and others, and consequences if you don't take action. And messages from your higher self, sorry. It's getting late. I mean, it's not that late, but it's like late considering when I started these. Man, Saturn has come up so many times in everyone's readings. That was ridiculous. Keep breathing for me, Cancer. Wow. Okay. Wait, hold on. This is the right way. I think. Yeah. Okay, Cancer. Where do I begin? Very Saturnian. Very rigid. Very, I don't know. It's like I can't tell if this has to do with money or if this has to do with relationships quite yet. It's funny because usually when Saturn or Capricorn cards come up, it's usually money for everyone else. But for you guys, because Capricorn is your 7th house, that's your 7th house of relationships. So apply this to wherever, because again, it's a general reading. But what you're avoiding, we have Saturn return, age clarified by the High Priestess. So you're avoiding some kind of tough lesson. That enough is clear, because Saturn is all about tough lessons. He comes in and he teaches you what you need to change about yourself, and you can either accept it and change it and work on it, or you can deny it and then wait for the universe to drag you, and you have to change no matter what, and you just find yourself in a quite compromising position. But you're avoiding your own intuition. You are ignoring what it is that you already know about yourself and what it is that you know that you need to heal or work on. This could also mean like a status thing too. Like if you're avoiding like a certain job by distracting yourself with another job. It's like that's also coming in for some of you. It's very unclear this month for you, Cancer. I think that's part of why the High Priestess card is there too, because a part of you is confused. I think you do know what decision you need to make, but you're confused about it, which is why it's coming up in the reading now. I feel like it might have to do with relationships. I think it's going to have to do with relationships. Because you have four Saturn cards, okay, between the two decks. So, all right, how you're bullshitting yourself and others. You have fourth house roots clarified by the Four of Swords. So, how you're bullshitting yourself and others is that you are probably sleeping. Some of you are just sleeping through it all. Another chunk of you might be kind of regressing back into like a childlike mindset where like if you don't get what you want, you throw like a temper tantrum, or like you cry it out or something. And it's saying that you are holding yourself back by being so childish. You're holding yourself back by like not adulting enough. You're just not adulting enough, or you are adulting in a way that is preventing you from truly reaching your potential in this world. It's like you're settling for something. Yeah, it's like a lot of you, if you have been like confiding in your family, maybe your family has been kind of like gassing you up in the wrong way. Like maybe your family is full of yes men and they only tell you what you want to hear to make you feel better, but they don't tell you what you need to hear, or they don't motivate you or push you or challenge you in any kind of way. And it's I think that's what's causing you to regress, because especially if it's like your actual mom and she's like, oh no honey, everything you're doing is perfect and fine, and you're gonna believe it because you're like, oh well, my mom said everything that I'm doing is perfect and fine. Your mom is human. You're grown. Okay, you're grown. You're gonna have to eventually live your life without your parents' guidance. Okay, so this is also, I'm getting it, like if your parents are still funding you for something but you're a grown adult, it's eventually going to come to an end. And once it does, you're going to have a much harder time working for yourself or working for someone else, because you've been so entitled to this money this whole time, and you've been so entitled to being coddled emotionally that when you go out into the real world, that's not how it is. And then you get sad and you get like, well, why is everyone treating me this way? It's just like, this is just how the world is. Saturn stuff, that's what it is. It's like okay, I'm getting it now. You need to grow up. This is essentially what this is. You need to grow up. You need to stop relying on your family so much, especially financially. You need to confront your childhood wounds. You need to be responsible for your money. You need to be responsible for the people that come in and out of your life, the partners that you have. Yeah, it's a lot. This is all stemming. So the reason why I couldn't pick up on whether or not it was money or love, it could go either way, because this is childhood stuff. This is you. This is your inner child. So, consequences if you don't take action. Saturn again, truth. Clarified by the Six of Swords. Saturn is going to, remember earlier when I said you can either do the work or the universe will drag your ass and make you do it? This is what's going to happen. Consequences if you don't take action. Saturn is going to drag your ass back into the past. And normally when the universe has to do it for you, it's very catastrophic. Versus when you do it for yourself, you just move forward. But when the universe does it for you because you're resisting, it pulls you back and it makes you look at everything that you were avoiding, which makes it so much more overwhelming versus if you had just turned around and looked at it yourself. So yeah, the Six of Swords talks about traveling. I don't think physical travel is actually going to happen, but I think it's more of a mental thing. Like you're going to have to go back and really try to sort out your swords and try to heal whatever mental part of you is like stuck in this childlike mentality. But yeah, the truth is going to come out. Saturn doesn't fuck around. I keep telling people that and people keep not believing me, and then Saturn keeps showing up in their readings again and again and again. It's only going to get harder, folks. Message from your shadow self. You have 10th house, the world, clarified by the world. And guess what? These are both Saturn cards as well. These are both Capricorn cards as well. So The message from your shadow self is that it's time to end this cycle. It's time to grow up. It's time to stop being a child. You can't keep regressing and acting like a child every time you don't get what you want, or when someone hurts your feelings because they said something to you that you weren't like ready for, or like if they're giving you criticism about something. It's just a lot of like, you need to stop expecting the world to baby you, because that's not how the world is. And there's a lot of people who are not privileged enough to be babied that way. A lot of people had to grow up early, or they had to, make a lot of sacrifices. And if you are one of those people who, kind of just got everything you wanted growing up, life is going to slap you real hard in the face. My favorite story about Saturn is that he ate his own kids. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have your parents that coddle you, but you're also a child of the universe. And the universe is not going to coddle you. And it's going to be tough. And it's going to be a really hard reality check. Like a really hard. You have 4 Saturn cards, dude. Like 1 Saturn card is already heavy. You have 4. And 4 is also like the foundation. So again, everything coming from your roots, from your foundation, from your family, from your childhood, but also past lives. But I really do think that it's just, the big message here is to grow up, and it's to learn how to regulate your emotions a little bit better, because you tend to just either snap at people, or you try to avoid a certain situation because you don't like the way it makes you feel. But in the real world, in the adult world, you're going to have to work with people that you don't like. You're going to have to talk to people and confront people that you don't want to you don't want to talk to. People are going to criticize you for, their experience with you. You might not like that. That's just part of adulthood. That's just part of the learning experience, the human experience. All right, Cancer, that was your message for September. I wish you well, and I'll see you next month. Bye.